because I'm from Pakistan and that culture, we understood the tasawwuf to be something which was like tarbiyah. It's like not just knowledge, it's along with knowledge. It's a wholesome package. But in today's world, we see people not getting along with each other very well on a different opinions. How can we tackle that? How can the which the English phrase is let's agree to disagree, to come in upon something where we stand on different things and still tolerate the other person. What's your advice on that?
I can only have a limited input into this subject, and there are others who probably would have far more to make as inputs than I can make. Um, I believe that Islam came as a uniting force amongst Arabs who were fighting with each other. It's kuntum a'da'an, Allah says. You were enemies unto each other. وَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِي إِخْوَانًا. And Allah reconciled your hearts and you became a fraternity. This is what is in the Quran. So it was a unifying principle at work. That unifying principle at work was the recognition of absolute authority of Allah, belief in Allah as the absolute being, and absolute loyalty to Him and faith in Him as a living force within the heart. It is this unifying principle of faith in Allah, and subsequent to that, faith in the Prophet ﷺ, and in the Quran. These are all parts of the unifying principle at work, which transform the Arabs who are all fighting with each other into a powerful, united force. 75 years after the birth of Pakistan, and the freedom has been achieved, Muhammad Ali Jinnah succeeded in achieving that freedom, an independent state. And since then, it has only been total collapse and mass problems, because the enemy will never allow Pakistan one day of rest. Never. Even if they have to invade the country, they'll do it. But Pakistan must not succeed. Because if Pakistan survives and Pakistan is successful, that is terrible news for Israel. Terrible news for Israel. So they will do everything they can possibly do to try to ensure that Pakistan remains enslaved. But because Dajjal has been at work all these 75 years, and the process of secularization has taken place in Pakistan and in other parts of the world of Islam, and nationalism has replaced Arab nationalism, Egyptian nationalism, Algerian nationalism, Moroccan nationalism, Pakistani nationalism. Nationalism has taken the place of faith in Allah and His Messenger and the Quran as the unifying principle at work. As a consequence, large numbers of people have been badly educated and brainwashed. How do we proceed from there? My view, which I expressed in my last video, is that we have to build a community of people in one region of the world that is contiguous. I don't include Iran in it. I said Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh are contiguous. that we have to build a community of people in this region who all accept that unifying principle of recognizing absolute truth to be located in the Quran. Because Nabi Muhammad is, alayhi salatu wasalam, is no longer with us. And who commit themselves and pledge themselves to remain faithful to that absolute truth and to not betray it. And who recognize that the Prophet was sent, alayhi salatu wasalam, to teach the Quran so that he will put the Quran into concrete form in history. And therefore the hadith must be accepted to the extent that it is in harmony with the Quran. Such people now, when they arrive and they pledge themselves to this, because the seculars will not do that, secularly educated people would not do that. Such people must also now pledge themselves that we will not establish any personal profile which would jeopardize our loyalty and fidelity to absolute truth in the Quran. And therefore, I didn't say it, and I won't say it. They won't say I'm Brelvi, I won't say I'm Deobandi. They won't say I'm Shia, I'm this or that or the other. Okay?
Yep.
This is what I mean by it.
Yep.
It's a non-sectarian profile. That is the road to unity. Okay?
Yep.
And then the further before, they pledge to, it's not a political movement, it's an ideological movement.
Yep.
It's an ideological movement which brings people together as a fraternity. We are not starting any political party. We're not starting any Jamaat Islami. We're not appointing any Amir. And
Yep.
we're not doing any. This is a community of people. And these people now must build bonds of friendship, love and friendship with each other, because that is what the Quran is called for. And so they will help and support each other. They don't need a government to do that. And when this is established, as this is established, then this heart of the community, which is pledged to remain faithful to the Quran, these people can set the agenda and move towards trying to reform the rest of the society. This is my input to the subject. But I am sure that there'll be others who have far more to say than I have said.